playing Hacker Evolution and Uplink back in high school, I wanted more out of this style of game. The idea was concrete as a self-contained game engine, but it lacked replay value after a certain point. I wondered after searching the web why there was a lack of this style of game, and an utter lack of multiplayer, co-op, and PvP alike. So I decided at this point just to create my own game.
So one day riding the bus home from school, Nathan comes to me pitching this multiplayer Uplink game, and being that I played Uplink back in high school, I was very excited about this proposition. So we decided to collaborate OBSUDO.
So I began to experiment with different languages to make OBSUDO. I was disappointed with C# due to the .NET requirements, and C++ seemed like it was too much work for the resulting product. I didn't want to give up on the idea of OBSUDO, so I decided to shelve the idea for a time until I could find a good language to make it in.
So about 5 years after shelving OBSUDO, with much more education and experience this time, we decided to dust off the game with a fresh perspective, this time using Java.
I was quite thrilled about the fact that I took a Java class in college and learned all the fundamentals of the language. I know a lot of other languages, so I found it easy to pick up, and was constantly surprising the instructor with extra elements I was putting into my software. I found it funny when the instructor told me that I had coded the software better than she had. I began showing Matt the ins and outs of Java, and suggested that he learn it also so that we can begin work on OBSUDO.
We began structuring and mapping the game, wanting to make the game to its roots, but still able to support a large amount of players and NPCs. Our first and primary focus was to develop an autonomous world that would exist and change despite player action. So no matter how many people were playing, the game would still play itself.
Matt's idea was excellent, but it lacked scalability. This idea would work well, but only with a small amount of NPCs, as it required a lot of disk space. We want to support a monstrous amount of NPCs, so after discussion, we derived a plan of having a single NPC require a fraction of the technical requirements originally needed, with allowing for the same functionality. This will allow us to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of unique NPCs running on a single server.
The massive non-player characters, or NPCs, is the primary interaction point for the player, though by proxy most of the time. Unlike traditional RPGs, where you walk around as an avatar character, we add a depth of immersion by making you the character and your personal skills and creativity the measure of your success.
Being in IT by profession, I wanted to bring realism into the game by allowing it to be used for educational purposes. With that said, I still wanted the game to be fun and challenging. This was a very fine line to come to, but with the creativity of OBSUDO and the real-world elements of the IT profession, OBSUDO will truly be one of a kind. This realism pulls the player into a game as if you are truly in another digital world. I wanted everything to be interactive and hackable, including other players, so that's exactly how we're developing it.
If you want to support the further development of OBSUDO, you can help us meet our stretch goals. Each stretch goal will add further content to the game, or extra perks for you. And
Saying
I'm going to...
everything is beautiful.
Everything is beautiful. Can you pass me that that gray shirt? Because I don't want to be in an undershirt for this.
This is Matt putting on a shirt.
This is how you put on a shirt.
Instructional video of how to put on a shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. First, you make sure that the 3 holes are in the correct orientation.
Yes.
Well, I guess 4 holes, but you're going to be in one of them.
Okay.
Only one?
Well, to start with. And now you slip the middle hole, the smaller middle hole, you slip your head through it.
Yes.
And then you just kind of put it on like that. Beautiful.
Then, if you're wearing an undershirt, the long sleeve shirt over it, you pull your sleeves into your sleeves.
Do you hear that, guys? Pull your sleeves into your sleeves. That way it'll keep it from bunching up and looking terrible on camera.
It will also feel nicer.
Very much so.